You are listening to the Midlife with Courage podcast. This is where women in midlife come for inspiration, motivation, and sometimes a little education to help them flourish after 40. Let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Midlife with Courage. I am Kim Benoit, your host. I'm so happy to have you here. And today I have a guest who I have had on the show before. Her name is Anne Poirier. Welcome back to the podcast, Anne.
Thank you, Kim. I'm happy to be here, and it's good to talk to you again and see you again.
Yes, I'm so glad you reached out to me. Anne has something that I wanted to share with all of you, and it sounds amazing. So that's why I brought her back, and we want to talk about that. But first, just remind the listeners who you are, where you are in the world, what you're doing.
Okay, so good to be back with you. And I am in South Carolina. I live in Hilton Head Island, and I have been working on a body image journey basically my whole life, struggling with being immersed in diet culture and body dysmorphia really for much of my life, until I decided that I'd had enough and I was tired. And so I got some help. And that's when I think, first connected.
Yeah.
My first book was The Body Joyful, My Journey from Self-Loathing to Self-Acceptance. And that was all about how I understood a little bit about my own journey and why I developed an eating disorder as a teen and why I got stuck in this cycle of yo-yo dieting, binge eating, compulsive exercise, self-hatred, basically, and then spinning in that cycle for a really long time. And the writing of The Body Joyful, along with therapy and journaling and meditation and all those good things, really helped me come out on the other side. And so I wrote that book around my story, and I've been continuing to work that journey ever since.
Yeah, I love that. Especially, I know the people listening are midlife women, and
Mhm.
we're going through some body changes right now that aren't fun, at least in my world. So I think it's important for us to really talk about that body neutrality and what that means and how we can move forward with our bodies and, like you said, accepting them maybe a
Mm.
little bit more. Can we talk about that? Talk about body neutrality. What does that mean again?
Yeah, it's interesting because the term body neutrality really was something that was a springboard for my healing,
Mm.
because what it told, my interpretation of it was that I didn't have to buy into loving my body.
Uh,
And that really made a big difference, because when you live in this place of body hatred or self-hatred, and the world tells you you're supposed to love your body, it just didn't even seem realistic to me. So I would throw up my hands because I'll never get there. That's not something that I will ever be able to aspire to. But body neutrality is this middle of the road where you don't have to buy into loving your body. It's just you're nudging yourself up this kind of body image spectrum away from body hatred or bad body dislike. I've had clients describe it as body disgust, and how that gets us stuck in not great behaviors and
mhm.
not great ways of thinking. And so if that's not helpful, and yet like loving our body isn't really feasible in our own mindset, body neutrality is this landing space in the middle where you can rest and turn down the volume from diet culture and society's thin ideal, and then turn up the volume on your own self-worth and self-confidence and the way your body actually moves you through the world. And it places the focus more on function and what our body does for us on a daily basis rather than appearance. And as soon as we shift that focus, it changes the mindset as to how we think about our bodies and perceive our bodies.
Yeah, that I can see the difference there. I like that. If I think about it, sometimes I try and think, okay, this body has delivered two babies
Hmm.
almost at what same time. I had twins, and the things that I've done, I can see having gratitude for it and being thankful for what it's done. And yeah, I see that. I feel that switch in the brain. I don't have to think I'm look amazing because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's just that it's really trying to make a shift in how we're seeing ourselves and perceiving ourselves.
Yeah.
It's all in the way we think, and what we focus on grows. So if we're focusing on all the parts of our body that are changing that we don't like, or things that are happening that we don't like about our bodies, then it really starts to erode our self-confidence. And
Mm.
then that can impact what we do, like our choices and decisions. It might pull us away from attending events or doing things or taking photos, all of those little
Mhm.
things that life has to offer that we shy away from if we are focusing on all the little things about our bodies that we hate.
Oh, I so relate to that. I'm getting the menopause belly fat
Mhm.
and I'm working on it. I just started a workout this week. Cross fingers, I'll keep it going. I'm going to keep it going. Now everyone knows, now I have to keep it going.
I know. Cat's out of the bag now.
Yep, dang it. But yeah, but like you said, I don't really want to be in pictures, or yeah, if I'm in pictures like over the holiday, I make sure I turn a little bit and I'm sucking in my belly and like I don't want to be worried about that. I don't want to focus on that. But it's hard.
Yeah, it is hard. And I think that changes, especially in midlife and with through menopause, it makes it really difficult between body fat, our body's metabolism slowing down, and then skin, right? And
Mhm.
our hormonal shifts. So then we might be craving more foods. And so there's a lot of different things that are going on. And really, when I talk to people around menopause, and you do this as well, it's like, how do we start to really tune into our bodies and not think about all the things that used to work or the things that we used to do or the way we thought we were supposed to look because we get trapped in all of that stuff, which just brings us down even further.
Right.
And so, if we can shift the focus to what does my body need? And can I start to respect when it's hungry? What does it really want? When it's feeling low energy, maybe a walk outside would feel really good. It's just a different way of kind of thinking about the body.
Yeah, it's another thing. I've been more intuitive as well, trying to listen to my body and using my energy and that kind of thing. But it's really hard when there's outside forces like social media and filters on people who I know. I know people who are on social media who use filters because I know they don't really look like the way they look on social media in
Mhm.
person. But there's just this pressure, and I'm not judging anyone for doing that. It's just it makes me feel like, oh my gosh, I need to look better too. That it's really tough.
Right. I think that's where we have to do the work ourselves.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
go ahead. Go
Oh
ahead.
no, so I was gonna say, ask you, so how do we do that? Where do we
Mm.
start?
It's interesting because of how much the term body neutrality and the work that I did around body neutrality helped me. And this is part of what I'm here to share is that I have a new book coming out on the 10th of February called The Body Neutrality Playbook: Activities and Daily Practices to Unlock Body Confidence, Self-Acceptance, and Inner Peace. And so it's a workbook on how do we separate worth and weight and release diet culture and curate our social media feeds and think differently, start to shift our self-talk and think differently about our bodies. And it's got a whole slew of activities around shifting mindsets and practical activities that we can do on a daily basis to help us shift our focus to
Yeah.
more of that function and appreciation rather than how my pants fit or the weight on the scale. Yeah.
Yeah. When does that come out? Because I want to make sure I get that.
Yeah, that it comes out February 10th of this
Okay.
year. So it's coming out soon. So very excited
Cool.
about it. Yeah.
Yes, that's wonderful. Oh, I've shared this with you when we talked before about I have a courage and confidence circle that I started. And that's one of it's a 3-month thing. And that's one of the things is finding that self-confidence and looking inside and realizing, like we just said earlier, about what I've done in my past, on the past life that I can take and move forward and say, hey, I did this, I can do something, whatever the next thing is. And
Mhm.
that kind of aligns with this because the third month of it is coming up here and we're going to take action. Like now we're going to
Mm.
do something. So I feel like that really aligns with what we're talking about here as far as your body and how we're interacting with it.
I think it is starting a body gratitude practice. Just 1 minute in the evening saying, what did my body do for me today? Really thinking about our bodies differently and creating kind of practices, taking action to help ourselves and our own self-talk too,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
There's a series of some body neutral phrases that I call them pocket phrases to pull out when that negative critic comes in and talks about the way our stomach looks or something like that, and to remind myself that yes, my stomach did hold babies
Yeah.
and protected babies and it protects me and it's a great pillow for my grandpuppy and she likes to lie on my belly. It is, I know it sounds silly, but those things make us feel different about the actual body parts that we sometimes criticize and really beat up, to be honest.
Our brain is always listening. It sounds weird, but it hears the negative and that's what it grabs onto most of the time. And so the less we can do that and the more we can focus on positive or more positive, that's going to help our brain. And you can just feel that energy shift in your body too when that happens.
Exactly. I think that's I don't know, I'm sure that you've done some work around Brene Brown and some of her work.
Mhm.
And one of the things that she talks about is our negative critic is both, we become both the bully and the bullied. So we're bullying ourselves and we're being bullied. And I always say, if we were to take a look at some of the outcomes of being bullied, there's anxiety and depression, isolation, constant worry, lowering of our self-worth and self-esteem. So we're pulling away. And that's what we're doing to ourselves. And so it does take some work. And if you've been doing it for 30, 40, 50 years, to give yourself some time and some patience to just start to shift some of those self-talk tracks and create change. And it doesn't always have to be Pollyanna, sunshine, puppies and roses and all that. It just can be supportive, neutral. I'm working on it. I'm doing the best I can. I'm
Yeah.
human. These thighs take me across the street.
Yeah.
Little things.
Yeah. And I love the word yet. I can't walk up that hill yet without losing my breath. If you put that yet on there, that really is a big word that helps. Little three-letter word, but
Yes, absolutely.
so tell us about how you help women in this area because I mentioned earlier you have something coming up that I want you to tell us about because I think it sounds amazing.
Okay. I do. I work with people who are basically tired of the dieting game and the treadmill or society's expectations on how we're supposed to look, especially as we hit into this midlife and menopause area. And so a lot of that starts with taking a different look at diet culture and where we've learned all of that, how we've learned to feel like a failure every time we try a diet and it doesn't work, how to separate worth from weight, which our society has put together. And you said you started a workout, and I try to really talk about exercise and movement as a way to keep our independence and to improve our quality of life rather than to change our body. And so it's this reframing. And so I have a free masterclass coming up January 29th, and it is called the Weight Loss Freedom Masterclass. How to ditch the diets, get rid of all of that, and feel confident and comfortable in your body right now and today. And once we start to see our body and think about our body differently, we actually start to treat it differently.
Mm,
And so with this master class, I'm going to talk about 5 different ways you can build body confidence for yourself, along with one way to regulate your nervous system so that we can start to change those self-talk patterns, and a quick and easy tool that we can use every single day. So those are the bricks, the foundational bricks of the master class itself.
yeah.
And I'm looking forward to I think a colleague of mine said this just yesterday, and I thought it was a really great way of framing this coming year of the work that I do is I want to help women feel less crappy about themselves. I guess, for lack of a better word,
Yeah,
you
I love
know.
that. That's so less crappy about ourselves. Yes, I love it.
And to try to shift the mindset around this body that has taken us through our whole lives. Without the body, we wouldn't have experienced every pain, every suffering, but also every joy and every excitement and every experience that we have. And it's been all different shapes and sizes. And it's all in this shifting of the way we think about ourselves. And that's my hope for this master class and the book and all the work that I do. I don't want people to be stuck in some of the patterns that I was stuck in for decades.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it when women go through things and then they come out of it and I want to help other women do this too. I love that. I think we need more of that. I think midlife women are really good at that.
Yeah, I think sometimes too, we are at a point where we take a deep breath and we realize we don't have to care as much as we used to care about what other people think.
Exactly.
And that we get to care about ourselves. And we have been a little bit more on looking at this self-care journey. I repeat the definition. I got it from Wikipedia, I think, on self-care. And it's anything that we do deliberately to preserve or improve physical, emotional, or mental well-being. And that's like preservation,
Yeah.
like physical preservation, mental preservation, emotional preservation. That's the work that we try to do with shifting the way we think about ourselves.
I never thought about that before. Yeah,
I
we're
know.
observing what's already there, what's
And
good.
that's true self-care. Feeding ourselves when we're hungry,
Yeah.
getting outside if we've been inside for 3 days.
You're
Like
yes.
the little things.
Those little things. Yeah. So
Mm.
let's just go back for just a minute to the weight loss freedom masterclass. What will that look like?
It's online, it's on Zoom. It's going to be Thursday night, the 29th at 7 p.m. And if you can't make it live, there is a encore live presentation on Saturday, the 31st at
okay.
11. Those are Eastern time. And there will be recordings available for people if you can't make it. I think it's a really great opportunity to just start to open the door to seeing a different way of looking at yourself and developing more confidence. And I know that we both believe that when we feel better about ourselves, we show up differently for the people that we care about and the things that we love. When we're not feeling so great about ourselves, we tend not to show up as our best selves. And so this is a way to move us into becoming more of our best selves for the people we love.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Oh, so much here. I feel like we could just keep going on and on.
No.
But it's so nice to reconnect with you. Before we close this out, is there anything you'd like to share with the audience? Any tip or nugget of knowledge?
I think there's one tool that I'll share with your audience. I call it the ABCs.
Okay.
And it starts with becoming aware of one of the negative self-talk tracks that you have in your head, possibly around your body or around yourself, it could be around anything. So we have to be aware. Awareness is our first success. We have to be aware of it before we can change it. And then the B is taking a couple of deep breaths to slow ourselves down, bring ourselves back into the present moment. And the C can be a few different things. It can be choose a different thought, change your thought, be curious about your thought, or show yourself compassion.
Love it.
So it's, and then you could use another C, be courageous around your thought.
Be courageous around your thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Courageously change your thought.
Courageously change. Yes, courageously. I love the curious one too. That's a big one. I've been trying, like, just a silly example right now is there's something I've been working on that I need to get done, but I haven't. And I'm like, why am I not doing that? What is holding me back? And so I'm trying to figure that out. So
Yeah.
anyway, I love
Yeah.
that. Get curious, but
Yeah.
oh my gosh, Anne, thank you so much for joining me and coming back to
Thank you.
the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me back. I appreciate it. And keep doing the great work that you're doing too.
Yes. Thank you so much. And you too. And yeah, I'll probably see you in your weight loss freedom masterclass.
I hope so. I
Very
hope so. And anybody who comes, there'll be a couple of free gifts there too.
awesome. Awesome.
Great.
All right. Thank you so much. You have a happy new year.
Thank you. You as well. Thanks,
All
Kim.
right. Thank you so much for listening to Midlife with Courage. If you liked what you heard, I would love it if you would leave a review. Or even better, send a link of this episode to a friend. Until next time, take care of your beautiful self.